those who are living in urban poor communities here, aside of course from threat of demolition, experience on a day-to-day basis rains, saturation drives, and they're very afraid because they're experiencing it on a daily basis. So this is what's happening in the community. That's not, the driver said is, I don't know where he got it. That's another point. But of course, we also have to consider the fact that we have this kind of opinion because previous administrations, of course, allowed the situation to deteriorate to the point where there was disillusionment among the populace. So that when Duterte said, I can eradicate drugs in 3 to 6 months, he got elected just the same way that Trump was elected. So this was a reaction to the inaction and the failure of the previous governments to address basic problems of society. On the issue of the investigation of Picoy, we are not surprised that they are investigating the one who made it and the one who uploaded the video. If you look at our constitutional laws, those are protected under the constitutional provision on freedom of expression. And yet they are looking into him for any wrongdoing, but they are not investigating the allegations of the involvement of the Duterte family in the drug trade. But of course, what can the police, the PNP do when they investigate? Because we have a problem, an issue of competency regarding the capability of the PNP to investigate. They have been provided with many technical assistance, but to date, they still rely on the archaic style of investigation, which is to illicit confession. And I think that's what they're doing to the one they said uploaded the video, because now he said he's going to be a state witness. So that's what they do. They call the illicit confession so that they will use this against, probably against those mentions in the video, the names mentioned in the video. But regarding the investigative skills of the PNP, I don't think they have the competence to unravel the truth, even if they wanted to, regarding the Picoy video.
I don't know, I think most of us, or a lot of us, have had this experience of riding in a taxi and having an argument with the taxi driver. And I think that's happened to me quite a number of times, arguing with the taxi driver. One thing we must emphasize though is that support for Duterte isn't, is cuts across classes in Philippine society. So you say, if you had an argument with a taxi driver, it doesn't mean that, it's just taxi drivers or the regular people, the masses, who think this way. It cuts across, support for him cuts across classes. After such an argument with, for example, a taxi driver, and you get into a heated argument, right? And when you get off the taxi, you feel dissatisfied. You feel that, nothing happened. You feel that, I wasn't able to convince that guy. So why is this? And also that you feel that, the taxi driver, he's also coming from a true place. His argument, his discourse also has a basis somewhere. It's not a complete lie that he's coming from. And that's something that we have to also understand. That's something that we must try to probe too. From where is he coming? And how do we explain this language, this discourse? And I think more than taxi drivers, if you want to look at this, it's social media also. Social media, Facebook for example, is a massive place of language, of this kind of language which taxi drivers and many other people use. And when you study Facebook and you look at the main pages which support Duterte, and you see how people comment on the comments, on the posts, then you notice that most of the people, engaging themselves in this kind of non-civil discourse, for example, non-civil discourse, lots of insults, yes, are actually normal people, regular citizens of this nation. If you analyze it, you can see that there are actually only very few professional trolls. Very well trained, they can plant like seeds which generate a lot of reaction, a lot of response from other people. And they also show you examples how to do it, how to say things, how to attack, how to assault with words. And then this generates massive storms inside Facebook. It's millions, hundreds of thousands of posts, generating a lot of words. But these words only come from a few provocateurs. Only a few professionally trained trolls. So how does this happen that, that ordinary people working in various countries abroad, OFWs, ordinary regular people, they begin to engage in this language? We have to find a way to explain it. And I think one way of explaining it is that there's a lot of disaffection, a lot of disillusionment with Philippine with the way Philippine politics is going. So of course, that's an explanation for populism, etc. But there's a lot of disillusionment. Marcos was very good in English, right? He was a great rhetorician. He was a great speaker, and then here comes Duterte, who's finding it difficult to express himself, say a sentence properly. Why do people choose him? Because they begin to feel, that these people, they speak with big words, they speak with fancy sentences. Actually, that's empty. At least Duterte, when he insults someone, that has some kind of force. That has some kind of truth behind it. So I think there's something deeper, and that's what we have to look at also. So we can't say that only a few are doing this, or what. It's really a rather general social phenomenon that we can study and analyze so that we can appropriately address this. And I think our job, of course, is not only to educate, but also to be educated. To be educated by these experiences. To talk to people, learn what's behind this. So that we don't come at loggerheads like, and then we end up like, we're, those elites, English, like that, and that we can't understand them, like stuff like that. So we have to break this, and we have to learn, not just educate. Thank you.
I'll just say one thing where we differ, which is that it isn't a few professionals. Like, our data actually shows that this is extremely strategic. The messages are meant to actually complement messages that are coming top down. Even in proportion. Actually, if you look, I can actually show you what it looks like right now. Our information ecosystem on Facebook, the majority that you have in the center is taken over by disinformation networks, the networks that are spreading lies, right? Thank you, I'll put it in. But what happens, even traditional media, even if you look at GMA and ABS-CBN's Facebook pages, which have a ton, they have 10 million followers, right? But because they work alone, we journalists don't actually share each other's content. As a whole, we get pushed to the side by a very coordinated effort to push out messages, and I'll show you that after. So the first is, guys, this is information warfare. It is information operations directed at the people to have power. And oftentimes, if you're questioning the drug war, for example, you are going to be targeted, attacked, and they are very personal attacks. It is meant to pound you to silence. And that's part of the reason one narrative pops up, right? Facts are really boring. They don't spread as much. These types of messages, they use anger and hate. They fan the flames of anger and hate. that is, the only person in my career I've seen using that same tactic, it's a divide and conquer, us against them tactic, is Osama bin Laden. When he actually went to different countries, took homegrown groups that have their own grievances and united them into one anti-Western message, right? Parang ganun na nangyayari dito. Dinidivide tayo on purpose. And then again, the last thing is, on the question again of why would the government and the police not investigate Bongo or Paulo Duterte? Please even look at the charge inciting to violence for a guy who built a website. Have you looked at that? Even if that website spread the video, since when is an attack on one family an attack on the entire government, right? And that is, again, words. But I'm not saying that that's where it is, but we have moved. We are in new normals, and every time we accept it and we don't push back, we lose more of our rights every day. Quickly show this to you. This is, and this is pre-elections, right? So you can look at this network map. This is what our information ecosystem looks like. This was the end of last year, before the campaigns began. This right here, that's your disinformation networks. These are meme pages that we believe were being used they were being prepared for elections, right? So I can look at some of that. This is where the media is, right here. I'm just gonna show you the video. So blue is a Facebook account, red are external pages, green is a Facebook page. This is what it looks like on social media. So take a look at what is in the center of our information ecosystem in the Philippines. This is in the center, guys. Right? And these are all Facebook pages. The sizes of the circles are based on eigenvector centrality, how powerful they are to be able to spread. And then take a look at where traditional media is, because traditional media tends not to share each other's content. We don't share each other's facts, so the facts are buried, right? So you're still seeing here that center propaganda machine. That's in the center of our information ecosystem. Here we go. These are where traditional media is. And again, you can see, medyo nakakatakot siya when you really look at all the data. And how can we get the facts, right? That's part of the reason it's so hard to build communities of action, because you don't know what the facts are. And then the very last thing it'll show you is all the way over to your right. These are all meme pages. The kamicom.ph, actually, that's a website that's owned by a Ukrainian. Anyway, don't go into the rabbit hole, but this is what we live with.
Thank you. Now I think we can move on to the next batch of questions.